Good evening, everyone, and thanks so much for joining us today. I'm Shelby Sheehan. Welcome to News 4 at 5. Well, it's a story that you saw only here on News 4 back in November, a major sewer spill that went unreported for an entire year. Now state lawmakers are stepping in to make sure people do get notified if something like this happens in the future. Joe joins us now live from Sparks with an update. Joe?
Well, Shelby, this all came about because a viewer raised concerns, and as a result, a new state law may be passed. Now, it all started when 2.5 million gallons of raw sewage, I know not very pleasant, but it ended up in the city storm drain, which dumps right here into the Truckee River at Larkin Circle. No one downstream was notified about it and didn't know about it until we reported on it.
Water is our #1 resource.
Chairman Stephen Wadsworth of the Pyramid Lake Paiute tribe says he's still angry that no one bothered to notify the tribe about a major sewer spill from this apartment complex in 2022 and 2023.
Unbelievable. How could this happen? And even worse than that, how could we not be notified?
We notified the Nevada Department of Environmental Protection last fall after a News 4 viewer, Scott Trabert, turned to us with questions about an awful odor in his neighborhood.
Been noticing a foul sewer smell.
Sparks officials later confirmed that up to 2.5 million gallons of raw sewage may have spilled into the Truckee River and down to Pyramid Lake when construction crews mistakenly connected a sewer pipe to the city's storm drain. City inspectors didn't catch it, and city officials didn't report it. The city says it relied on the builder to do that.
Well, we found out from your news story. So thank you for that.
The issue got the attention of Senator Ira Hansen, who was born and raised in Sparks. Hansen says the lack of communication on the city's part raises a pretty simple but important question.
What the hell happened?
Hansen's bill, SB 276, would make it mandatory that neighboring jurisdictions be notified of a spill. That includes those downstream. Some say it's simply common sense, but we know now from this story that common sense isn't always enough.
In the history of the world, no one's ever cared what happens downstream from them, and this is proving that to be true. And unfortunately, it shouldn't be that way, not in 2025.
And back here live in Sparks, that bill, SB 276, is moving through the legislature. It would require a local agency or government entity like Sparks to notify the state, NDEP, and then the state would be required to notify downstream users. Now, important to point out, the Truckee River is a lifeline for the Pyramid Lake Paiute tribe with their fishery and everything else. If it is polluted in any way, they certainly deserve to know about it. This bill would make sure that they are notified. I'm Joe Hart live in Sparks tonight. Shelby, we'll send it back to you.
Joe, you mentioned the NDEP could fine the city of Sparks up to $25,000 per day that the sewage spill went unreported. What's the latest there, and where does their investigation stand now?
Yes, Shelby, clearly NDEP is the regulating agency here. They do have the power to issue some pretty serious fines. They tell me at this point it's still under investigation. We did notify them about this back in September, so it's been a while, but they're still going over all the facts, collecting all the data, and reviewing all the information they have. So no decision from them yet on any penalty. We'll wait and see about that.